Y'all, I am a low porosity, protein sensitive natural, and coconut saved my hair. I know you're in shock, but you need to tune in to hear this, and we are going to be getting this head together. So as I said, coconut saved my hair. Yes, we're giving calm setting vibes. It's been a crazy work day, so we're just going with this cool setting for today. I actually put like a scalp rinse onto my scalp and I washed that out. This is like why my hair is looking a bit crazy or whatever. But we all know that a few years ago, honestly, coconut anything started going up in flames. People threw away their coconut oil. They were like, I'm not putting that on my hair anymore. It's drying. It causes your hair to break off. It makes your scalp itchy. All of these things. It was a host of different reasons. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was early on in this natural, healthy hair journey. And so I followed the bandwagon. I was like, I'm cutting coconut. And as I said, while we're talking, I'm going to be tending to my hair. So for the shampooing step, I am using the TGIN Miracle Repair Strengthening Shampoo that has black honey and coconut oil in it, which is a perfect segue into our conversation. So as I said, I cut coconut out of everything because I felt like all of a sudden it no longer worked, because that's what the natural hair gurus were saying. But something really weird started happening with my hair. Like I just felt like my strands weren't strengthened. They were always extremely mushy because at that point I was always thinking moisture, 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 deep conditioner, leave-in conditioner, all of this other stuff. But I had been using coconut for so long in my hair that I honestly forgot that it was a major component in making sure that my strands were strengthened and they were not easy to break. I wasn't dealing with a lot of shed hair and all of these other things. So in response to that, I said to myself, okay, I don't think that completely cutting coconut out of everything is really the way to go for me. I know that other people were claiming that it worked for them, but honestly, I didn't feel like that was the best decision for my regimen. So what I started identifying was the best way for me to integrate coconut without overdoing it. And so that led me to start putting coconut milk into certain deep conditioners that I was making at home, which was essentially turning it into more of a protein conditioner because coconut has strengthening properties when it's applied to type 4 natural hair. That's generally the reaction that our hair has to coconut. People say it feels brittle and it feels dry because if you're using excessive amounts of coconuts, you end up with that feeling. However, if you're using it in moderation, you end up just feeling like your hair is strengthened. Not that it's brittle and not that it's too mushy from all of the deep conditioners and leave-in conditioners that were so big on applying all of the time. I started doing that for my DIYs, and then more recently as in a year ago, the product line TGIN actually came out with they call it a repair line. It's best for like shed hair, if you're dealing with breakage, things of that nature. And it's just overall really good for strengthening up the strands. They came out with that line, which is the direct line that I'm using today. And it has a great balance of honey and coconut oil. So I felt like, okay, so I found a way to incorporate coconut into a protein conditioner, but now this is an opportunity for me to go through like a full regimen of wash day, getting my coconut in, again, using a regularly set cadence. I do not use this all of the time on my hair. And before picking up where we just left off, we're getting into our next product, which is the TGIN Miracle Repair Curl Protein Reconstructor. This has black honey and biotin. Biotin is great for both hair growth and sustaining the health of your hair. This has, you know, a more manageable consistency, not super runny, not too thick. I use this on an as needed basis. I'm not really huge on protein because, again, I told you all that I am protein sensitive, but just because we're dealing with the change of weather going from summer to fall, for some reason this weather in Virginia is just hitting. I'm talking cold. I started dealing with just a bit of shedding and I want to get it under control before it goes too far. And I washed that shampoo out. So back to what I was saying, you essentially really need to pay attention to what ingredients are paired with one another. So if something is just fully coconut across the board, I feel like that's when it becomes a problem and you really have to watch it on your use. I personally wouldn't recommend just using something fully coconut straight across. However, when products are paired together, specifically ingredients, not products, excuse me, when ingredients are paired together, you have to think, how do they do as a combo? How do they do as a pair, as a couple? And honey and coconut do well together in my opinion. So again, I'm just going to apply this protein treatment to my hair. You guys see, it's just gliding through. And this works well to me. It's not harsh. And you know how you can really tell when a protein treatment is harsh? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Most of these protein treatments, they tend to have almost like a chemically smell when they're extremely strong. And so the reason that I go with this black honey and biotin protein treatment is because it has just the right balance, and I actually leave it on my hair for only 3 minutes. I lie to you not. I'm one of those naturals. I follow directions, and this goes hand in hand with their moisture repair line, so it does well with the black honey and the coconut that I just used in the shampoo. Okay, so I'm just going to get this going to make sure to get my ends, because that is where I'm like experiencing the shedding. And I'm going to put a baggie on and leave this for 3 minutes. As you get more experience and you really start to learn your hair, you know what works well and you know what doesn't. But I also encourage you to really pay attention to what early indicators you're starting to have with your hair, that if they go on for too long, it can really put you in a bad place. So if you're noticing a little bit of shedding, don't just say, oh, that's just a little bit of shedding, it's whatever. Try to see, is there something that I could be doing to strengthen my strands? Is there a way for me to slowly integrate coconut into my regimen? Should I use another product that also helps with strengthening, such as ginger? These are all things that we need to consider. Now that I'm finished with the protein treatment, I'm pulling out my good deep conditioner. This is my favorite store-bought deep conditioner. It is the Eden Body Works Jojoba Monoi Natural Deep Conditioner. So look at my curls directly after that protein treatment. What I will call out here is there actually is a bit of coconut in this stuff as well. This is a new packet, but I love it. The jojoba does a great job of, again, balancing out the effects of the coconut. And this is my favorite thing to follow up with. See that consistency there? It's thick, it's not too runny. Look at that. It's my favorite thing to follow up with after I've done a protein treatment. It is super moisturizing, and that is often a step that a lot of people forget after they've done a protein treatment. They just do it and then they kind of just like go into styling or go into using their leave-in conditioner, but you have to make sure that you replenish that moisture. And honestly, for a while, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't even know that this stuff had coconut in it for a while. Like when I first started using it, I wasn't really like a product label girl, I'll be honest with you. I got the recommendation from my sister. She was like, this joint cranks. I was like, it's a bet, girl, I'm getting it. It's inexpensive. But when I really started tapping into the ingredient list, I was like, oh, it does have coconut, and oh, it's not drying. And this makes it to my product stack. And I'm going to let this sit for 30 minutes. So all in all, this is really how coconut made its way to saving my hair. I really was like in a bad spot where my hair would grow a great deal, but I had an extremely hard time with retaining length. Ends were being split, they were splitting upwards, my hair would be damaged, I would be like losing hair in the crown area, and it just like really wasn't a good time because it felt like I would do all of these efforts to get my hair in a good place, and then essentially my hair would be jacked up afterwards. So I really found a way to make coconut work for me. And no, coconut is not the only ingredient that's out there that has strengthening properties. I've already mentioned to you that ginger is another good one, but I feel like ginger is not as popular in the natural hair space, but I'm up on ginger because, you know, I'm just up on it. It's like a West Indian thing for me, but you know, you have to do your research. This is what this channel is for, to introduce new concept to you guys, to allow you to look at things from a different perspective as well.